Hi and welcome to RC Kicks. On today's show, hey, I thought I'd do something a little bit different and we'll have a bit of an open debate with you. And that is, well, we kind of know that Tamiya are going to put out what cars are being put out up to Christmas 2021. So I thought, hey, let's do something fun and try and guess what we might see from Tamiya in 2022. Now, it's been a bumper year for Tamiya. They've been banging out kits super quickly and sales have been fantastic for them. So that's brilliant. So hopefully we'll see the same or even more next year. So having a look through some of the things that I think we may see, this is completely based on my own guesstimations. I have no insider knowledge. I'm just going on, I'll explain why I decided on these kits and that's my reasoning. But comment below, let me know what you think and then I'll do a follow-up video and we can discuss it again. So my first one is the Super Sabre. Now this was released in 1987 and we haven't seen it since. Now the Super Sabre, for the people that don't know, is the kit that came out after the Hotshot but then before the Thundershot family. And if you look at the chassis, it's kind of a bridge between the two, where Tamiya were trying some of the new parts and it's a kind of halfway house, and it only came out and then the Thundershot came out quite soon after it. Now will we see one of those? I think we could. Why? Well, we've had the Terra Scorcher in 2020 and we've had the Fire Dragon and the Thunder Dragon this year, so that means all the molds are there and they could do a lot of it. Also, the Hotshot came out in 2012, so they still have those parts as well, so it wouldn't be that difficult for them to put all those bits together and issue a new kit. The only thing I can see they'd have to modify maybe would be the body, where you've got the heatsink at the top and it's cut into the body and the body rises up to it, and then there's like a little trench where it goes. That whether they would just leave it and you would just not cut that section out, or whether they would actually change that in the mold for the body, honestly don't know. So that's one prediction, hopefully, and a lot of people seem to quite like this one, so maybe we'll see it. I guess it will come down to how well the the Thunder Dragon and the Fire Dragon sold, and I'm not too sure whether they've sold that well. Kits are readily available on both of those, which is usually a sign that it didn't sell as well as they predicted, so maybe that will stop the Super Sabre from coming out. I honestly don't know. What else? The Hotshot 2. The Hotshot 2 came out in 1987 and it was kit 58062. Whether we'll see a Hotshot 2? Oh, I really hope so. This one, for me personally, I would love to have one in the collection. So that seems to be I think more of a higher possibility. Obviously the Hotshot came out in 2012, so parts are reasonably available for them. It wouldn't be difficult. Usually that kind of means they've got molds available, so it won't be a scratch built from nothing, which means it's going to cost them a lot less to actually bring it to market. And the Hotshots have done very well and they've continually pumped them out, so a Hotshot 2 would be a really good one. What do you think? Comment below. The next one is the controversial one and the one everyone has been waiting for, and I still think we're going to see it. I don't have any more news on it. It's gone super quiet, and that is the Falcon. Now, the reason I keep saying that we'll get the Falcon is we had the Stadium Blitzer in 2010, we had the Blitzer Beetle in 2011, and we had the Stadium Thunder in 2012. So that means all these chassis parts are available and it wouldn't be that difficult for them to put it out. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, they won't do it because of the fundamental issues with it, but we've seen other kits that have come out that have had fundamental flaws and they put them out anyway. Also, they can change plastics now without changing the actual part itself and make the part much stronger without modifying it in any way, so I don't think that's a problem either. Yes, we had the Falcon 2, I think it was, or was it the Falcon something else? That Falcon Neo, Falcon 2, I can't remember, but it's completely different. So from the vintage side of it, I think we will see it, hopefully. Now, a lot of you who've got one probably don't want to see the Riri, but I definitely do, because I know there's a lot of people out there that would love to have a Falcon in their collection, but they just can't really get one or can't get a good one for reasonable money. On top of that, maybe if we don't see the Falcon, we could see the Bearhawk, which was 58093. Maybe we'll see that first because it's kind of along the same lines. That was released in 1991, so maybe with the Bearhawk. If we see the Bearhawk, then we'll see the Falcon, I would have thought. So those cars may be something we see. Comment below, let me know what you think. Do you think it's dead forever? It's really hard to tell. And the next one is, I predict we may see, and it would be good if we could, is the Lamborghini, Tamiya Lamborghini Countach. Why do I think we may see that again? Well, it's 50 years since it was unveiled at the Geneva Motor Show. Now, there's been a few different versions from Tamiya. There's an XB Builds Tamtec one. There was a TT01E on 58413 in October 2008. And then the original ones were way back in 1978 when there was 2 versions that came out. So whether we'll actually see a re-re, possibly, being that there could be something to do with the 50th anniversary. Ideally, I'd like to see it on the original basic chassis that came out in 78, and I think a lot of the collectors would, versus seeing it back on a TT01E. Kind of spoils it. Maybe they'll just reissue the TT01E. Or what would be even better is if they actually did the body off the new Lamborghini Countach body of the just announced real car from Lamborghini. That might be something. It depends on agreements and stuff like that, but that could be a possible one. I mean, Lamborghini was one of the very early chassis bodies that came out from Tamiya, so that would be cool. Comment below, let me know what you think. That one I'm not too sure about, but being that it's 50 years and there's been a good few Lamborghinis from Tamiya, and it's an old one, and it's a kit that hasn't been reissued. The original ones in 78, I honestly don't know. Now we know we're getting the Wild One reissue, which is fantastic. I'm really chuffed about that. And also we're getting the Jun Watanabe one. Now the Jun Watanabe one is a really interesting take on it, because they took an original release and then they modified it to be like Jun Watanabe's own one. Well, if you don't know, Jun Watanabe has a whole selection of his own cars. Now I'm hoping that the Jun Watanabe Wild one sells really well, because it would be really good if they actually did a full collection from Jun Watanabe, and then they could have a range of blockheads, which would be a real good collector's one for sure. So that maybe, but I would say that would be down to sales more than anything. But it'd be quite an easy one for Tamiya to do, change the box art and decals and stuff like that. I don't know, comment below, let me know, would you buy a Jun Watanabe Avanti, or would you start to collect the Jun Watanabe versions if they were to come out as a series? Let me know. The Super Avanti, obviously we know that's coming for the TD4, and I must admit, I think Tamiya have put a lot into this kit, because it's coming out with a lot of upgrades already done. Also, the release of the TD4 was done perfectly. There was a little early teaser trailer, then we got lots of footage of it, running footage, then we got talk about, and then there's all the options that are coming. So I think they're really putting a lot of effort into the TD4. And for me, super excited to see a character car mixed with a more modern kind of chassis. Now the chassis, a lot of people at the beginning are a little bit wary of it. I would wait and see. I get the feeling they've put a lot of effort into making a good solid track buggy. The arms are really thick, so I think this one's going to perform reasonably well. Whether it's going to be an out-and-out racer, I don't know, but it's great to see a character car. So will we see another character car next year that's new? Because that's what Tamiya used to do way back in the day with all their great character cars. So this is a real return to that. So hopefully it's going to sell for them, and hopefully we'll see another character car that's new from them in 2022? Comment below, let me know. Would you be interested in another character car? Another one might be the TC01. Now we've seen it with its first incarnation, which had the Formula E body, but since then it's been super quiet and there's been no new body designs, new releases from it or anything. Now, being that Tamiya put in so much time and effort into this chassis, and it's a scratch built chassis from the ground up, I can't see them just drawing a line underneath it. Now, I don't know how well it's sold, but it's a really good chassis. I really like it. It has a few issues and challenges regarding space, but you can make it work. So hopefully we will see another body design for it, whether it will be a touring car or something like that. Honestly, I don't know, but it would be very easy for them to do, and I would be surprised if they just don't do anything else with the TC01. Another one that I think may be possible is the Mud Blaster, which is 58077. Why? Well, because we've had the Monster Beetle, and one thing we haven't had is the Mud Blaster, and it is a really, really nice body. So maybe that's something we'll see as well, as it would be a really easy thing for them to release. Obviously, there's been the Mud Blaster 2 on the WT-01 chassis, so whether that actually stops them doing it, whether they don't really want to go back after they've done the second version of the Mud Blaster, I honestly don't know. I hope so, because I love that body, and granted, you can make one yourself by buying the parts from the Brat and then taking the Monster Beetle chassis, fitting it, and then just getting aftermarket decals, but Tamiya could easily produce that, so hey, maybe we'll see it. Comment below, let me know what you think. Another one I think we will see next year in a different guise is the TA02 Opel Calibra. Sold very well, and obviously it was a whole new chassis that was brought back to life, so they've got all the molds and they've produced it, so I can easily see the TA02 coming out with a different body set. That's quite high up there, I would think. Comment below, let me know what you think. Did you get one? Would you think about getting one with a different body set? Personally, I think the Opel Calibra was better looking in real life. I wasn't really an over big fan, but building one on the show, I love it, absolutely love it, and it's staying in the collection. The TA03 RS GT1 Kit 47443, whether we'll see another one of those. Reissue, maybe. I honestly don't know. Being that we got the TA02, maybe we'll see the TA03 RS. I don't know. Comment below, let me know. And then we'll just come. They're my predictions of what I would like to see, maybe see. Honestly, I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of cars that could come out, but just going on like logic of what would be quite easy for them to produce without massive overheads. Now I'll do my wish list, and this is based on purely ones that I would just love to see. The King Cab, everyone has been crying out for the King Cab. Also the Monster Racer. If we ever get one, we'll definitely get both. Now, whether we will or not, no idea, but hopefully we will. Blazing Star would be another one. And Hotshot 2 we covered before, the Falcon, and then the last one, which is probably about 5% chance of we'll ever see it again, is the Porsche 959 on its original chassis. And honestly, I don't think we will, but the market is definitely strong enough for them to justify the effort of producing it, but I'm worried that they would do it on a different chassis, and there's no way we want to see the 959 on anything but its original chassis as a collector's edition done in a special way. There you go, that's my kind of guesstimations of what we might see. Comment below, let me know what have I missed, because there's so many cars, and any ideas why you think that. Comment below, let me know. Thanks so much, see you on the next one, bye bye.